Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Concrete Slab House Reno. On today's episode, we are in the process of transforming and converting a former living room that we all have and never use into a bonus room that sometimes we don't have in our house. Today, order of business is to put out some Board and Batten wall. It decorates it, it gives us a really cool look. And you know what? If you haven't seen the rest of these transformations in this house, make sure you check out some of the previous videos. But in the meantime, let's get our supplies. Let's go. So what is a board and batten wall? So a board and batten wall is basically a decorative way to spice up, that's right, spice up, a wall. So these would be made out of different either MDF or primed pine wood. You would essentially attach it to the wall via brad nails. And it kind of creates a texture, if you will. I don't really know the design aspect of it, but we've all seen it on TV, on Pinterest. There's gonna be different ways to approach this. We're gonna put a yucca board backing for it. I'll explain what that is. And then we'll do a little combination of different types of trims and pieces to really kind of make it pop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what $200 worth of trim looks like to make our board and batten wall. Got a combination of 1x2s here. I got 3.5 inch wide stuff. I got 5-inch wide, and most importantly, the yucca board, because the backing, it's gonna be weird having a textured drywall, so this will make it a nice, slick surface. Before we can start putting it on the wall here, we need to pop off all of these vent covers, outlet covers, just because it's gonna be a nice snug fit. Okay, so because the stiles, the vertical pieces, they're 1/2 inch, and so are my baseboards here. I think in order for it to actually fit smoothly and not overlap the baseboard, I think I need to cut and take off the baseboard first, attach the yucca board, and then put the baseboards on. It's the only way to keep it all leveled. Got the baseboards off, the yucca board can come on. We do have to cut out all these holes. I was gonna use a Dremel, but then I realized I have this like a rotary drywall cutout tool. So I'm gonna eyeball it, cut it out, obviously not put it all the way inside. The outlets can't breathe and talk at the same time, but we'll do our best. Well, I think I just wasted a piece, not realizing that, well, I just cut into the drywall. Isn't that hilarious, Kyle? That is just a silly, silly joke. Oh, it'll work all right. All right, so for the adhesive, we're gonna use the Flex Seal glue. This is their Max Edition in a white. It is super strong, instant grab and hold, and works underwater in case we get flooded here. I had to go get myself one of these big guns right here that I could actually, that's a big caulking gun, isn't it? Heavy duty quart size. Okay, I guess now we know. Where's the cutter on this? I don't see a cutter. Well, we're gonna make our own cutter. Here we go, perfect. The glue is ready. We're also gonna need a stapler to hold it in place. I got a fancy one from Ryobi, but if you have a handheld one, the industrial strength one, it's just fine as well. Okay, one thing to consider when you are putting your staples in, make sure you put it either close to this transition line because the stile is going to cover it, or close to the top here because, again, we're going to have a rail go across it. So if you're wondering why am I leaving this part here, it's not scraps. Later on, I want to build a media center here, like a built-in thing. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little spoiler alert, I guess. Something to be looking out for. Okay, so Yucca board is on, perfect. This is gonna be a unique transition, and I'll show you how I'm gonna address it. It's still a little fuzzy in my head how I'm gonna exactly do it. But we're gonna throw the baseboard back here. This baseboard is gonna go up to here, but first I need to throw some stiles. It's a little confusing because they're gonna have to do a few transitions, but baseboards, stiles, and then the rest of the baseboard. You wanna peel off any of this old caulking that's on there. It'll make for a better, tighter seam and less ugly. What we're doing next, gonna finish off the rest of the stiles vertically, planning them out to be about 16 inches on center. That's about what your studs are. We'll throw one in the corner to start off and then line them off from there before we start putting the tops on. Wherever we have these seams, there's one there and there's one here. I didn't pre-plan to make sure the pattern's consistent. It's hard to think that far ahead. So here I kind of figured out that as long as from tip or edge to edge is 21.5, this could be an even pattern. It kind of continues over here, but then this wall is a little tricky. There's no seam on this one, but there's a seam here, meaning this one's gonna dictate what we do there. Long story short, I can get all these to be the same measurements, but these outer ones, they might be a little off, but I'll do our best to conceal it best we can. Stiles looking fantastic, made it work exactly how we wanted. Here's the next thing we gotta do. We're doing the 1x2, put it on its side, then a 5-inch piece there, and then another 1x2. These transitions are gonna be our hardest, and so we're just gonna save that all. Well, I don't know how much towards the end we could save it. This one definitely has to be tackled right now. I couldn't get a 16-footers, so these come out to be about 10 feet. I need them a few inches longer. Best way I figured how that stuff works is if you miter this 30 degrees or 45 and connect the two together, then you actually, that's loud. You can have enough room to actually put wood filler and make it look like one uniform piece. Anytime you have exposed, like this is the end grain part of the trim that everybody will see, do yourself a favor, grab either 120 sandpaper, or if you really want to be bougie, just grab a 3/8 round over router bit and then round it over. It looks so undone, if it's just a straight clean cut like that and people are seeing it. So just round it over, make it blend. I just screwed up on the order of operation here. This was supposed to be the top cap. And of course I screwed up on it because I was like, oh, I didn't get enough lumber. That's because that wasn't supposed to go there. So what's supposed to go here is a 6-inch and then that on top. But of course I didn't do that. I think I'll put the 6-inch and then put another cap on top. Everything is finally on. It looks so good. Now we have to hide all of our nail holes. Gotta use this. I did one mistake. Well, I've done a lot of mistakes, but one thing I wanted to be honest with you guys, when we were putting this Yucca board on with the staples, well, it was fine on the bottom, right? Because we concealed it with the trim. And Osa is fine on for the transition, again, concealed. Here's the problem. I was a dummy and I put some on top right there. Well, that can't be concealed. So I have to take him out and fill him in as well. Okay, I tried ripping 1 or 2 staples out. Those things, man, they pinch in hard. I'm gonna make more of a mess. So what I did instead, I took remaining of the 1/2 inch and we're just gonna place it in. It's gonna cover, it's about 1 inch rip width. It's hot outside. My brain can't think. All right, folks, the moment has come that we need to sand all the stuff that we put on using 220 grit, then we'll be ready for caulking. Let's go. Okay, here's the key part to make this all look flawless when it's being painted is we gotta caulk all the corners and all the edges, all the transitions. Get your caulk gun, get a nice little cut. Don't go crazy. Get a thin line in. Less is more, basically. This is the kicker that I learned. Tyler taught me this. Check this out. Get your finger wet with a little bit of water next to it. By doing this, you get a nice thin seam as opposed to a big one. So as you can see, today is paint day. I don't know what color she chose, the Great and Powerful Irina, but I'm sure it'll be great. One thing I just found out last minute is the whole room's getting painted. So remember how I painted it originally and then painted this room, the wall, and then now I have to repaint it. It's okay, no, it's fine, it's fine. It's the story of my life. Plus you look really nice. Masking everything off, covering the floors and then windows, and then we should start spraying. I painted, then painted again after the wall came up, and now we're painting it a different color.
This was your idea. You said, I want a man cave.
What are we doing with the trim? Painting it. Everything.
The only thing you don't have to paint is this fireplace because we're going to do...
Oh, thank you. The color that the missus picked out was Vintage Vogue. Very fancy, like we always do it here. Gonna give it a 1 coat, maybe 2, and then we'll see how this thing transforms. Actually, I gotta stop myself. This is a special occasion. We're gonna put these puppies in 4x4. All right, one of the last finishing touches we need to do is, we did build this little frame around, right? Because there's a surface area that we need to cover. You have to use these electrical box extenders. Sometimes I think they're called spark rings. Reason why, because if we put the cover over, this wood trim is actually combustible and flammable. So we would create this little sleeve that goes over. And what it does, it pushes the box out. Now sitting over this little trim piece, and then our cover is going on. And as you can see, nothing can actually catch on fire now. Safety third, folks. As far as budget, I spent about $200 on the MDF trim and Yucca board, then probably another 160 bucks between the paint, the caulking, and the glue, and of course a little bit of wood filler. All in all, making this project under 400 bucks makes this a huge win. Guys, we have officially made ourselves one of the coolest rec rooms I have ever seen. The board and batten wall is the most perfect touch for this game room. We're gonna get a pool table and that stuff is gonna be awesome. A couple of things I did want to address with you guys. Number one, I was going to paint these vents and I tried it on that side. I actually didn't like how it looked. It looked too gunky. And number two, as you see, I changed my mind about this line. It was weird seeing the green on the outside of this hallway, so I just thought I'd create this nice crisp line, and I'm so glad I did. It looks so good. A big thank you to Flexsteel for partnering us on this project. We couldn't have done it without you guys. Make sure you guys check the link down in the description below, all those products that I used. Check me out on my social medias. All the links will be there as well, including the merch section. All of it helps support this channel, so we keep putting these videos out for you guys. Remember guys, we are not trained professionals. We're just not afraid to try and fail. Courage and sweat. And if you're brand new to the channel and you like videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Tap the notification bell, though you'll know exactly when these videos come out. All right guys, tuning out this week. We'll see you on the next one. See ya. Bye.